From his flower girl to his bride. The tale of Amina and John. This is a tale of a young girl who went from a flower girl to the bride of the same groom. The young woman is drawn into a powerful billionaire's world of love, wealth, and secrets, with a past that won't stay buried. Watch this intriguing story and share your views at the end. Happy viewing.
It was a cold, lively afternoon in the small village of Coker. The entire community was gathered for the wedding of John and his first love, Amara. Among the crowd was an 8-year-old Amina, a distant relative of the bride. She'd been given the honor of being the flower girl at the wedding. Amina was the little daughter of an extended family member. She was one of Amara's favorite relatives and spent a lot of time at Amara's parents' place. That morning, Amina stood in the way and admired Amara's beauty, grace, and the way her smile sparkled as she walked down the aisle to her handsome groom. John, then a young, ambitious man, gazed lovingly at Amara, who, like him, had big dreams for their future. After the wedding, John and Amara moved to the city. Amina remained in her village but often thought back to that day. It was like a fairy tale, and she often dreamed of one day having a love as strong as theirs. Years passed, and John became one of the wealthiest men in the region, an oil tycoon with properties stretching from Lagos to New York. Amina grew up, a clever, hard-working young woman who had caught the eye of many, but she kept her focus on school. She earned a scholarship to study engineering at a University of Lagos. Life was good for Amina, and she hardly ever thought of John and Amara. Meanwhile, John and Amara's marriage faced troubles. After 10 years of marriage, they remained childless. The whispers grew louder. People blamed Amara, and some even started pressuring John to find another wife. But John resisted. He loved Amara deeply. Amara reached out to Amina's family and arranged for her to live with them, rather than in school. She felt this would make her happier and give her a companion to pour her out to. She felt honored but a bit nervous. John was now practically a legend in her village. When Amina arrived at John's mansion, she was shocked to find Amara lonely, withdrawn, and looking older than her years. Amara was really happy to see how grown and matured Amina had become, and was already feeling better, knowing that she had someone that could assist her at home and someone she could talk to and watch all her shows on TV with. Amina reminded her of her own younger days. Soon, Amina became like a younger sister to Amara. As the months passed, Amina found herself entranced by John's success, charisma, and kindness. She saw the rift between him and Amara, but she was determined to help rekindle their love, suggesting romantic dates and small gestures. However, as time went on, John started to look at her differently. Amina had grown into a woman with her features quite visible. One evening, while Amina was studying late in the study, John walked in and they began talking. They spoke for hours about life, ambition, and dreams. Amina felt an unfamiliar thrill, a pull toward John that she couldn't explain. A quiet tension lingered between them, something both forbidden and tempting. They left that night with a secret locked in silence. Amara began to notice the closeness between John and Amina. She felt a pang of jealousy but brushed it off as paranoia. But one night, she overheard them laughing together in the garden, a laughter she hadn't heard from John in years. Her insecurities deepened, and soon she felt betrayed and angry. They began fighting more frequently, and their love grew cold. John started withdrawing emotionally from Amara, who in her pain accused him of straying. The arguments intensified, and soon John stopped hiding his feelings for Amina, who had now become a part of his heart, his dreams. One night after an explosive fight with Amara, John found Amina in the kitchen. He confessed his feelings to her, saying he'd never felt so alive, so understood. Stunned but exhilarated, Amina listened as he painted a future for the two of them. She protested weakly, pointing out the inappropriateness, but her resolve crumbled under John's charm. But just as she thought their forbidden romance was a secret, Amara soon found out. In a rage, she packed her things and left, vowing to never return. Shortly after, John proposed to Amina, and with a heavy heart she accepted, despite the scandal it caused in both the city and their village. At 22, Amina became John's second wife, stepping into a life of luxury she never imagined, but also into a shadowed legacy. Rumors and gossip followed her everywhere, and whispers of the flower girl who became the bride spread, casting her as a villain. She tried to ignore the judgment and focused on building a family with John. But their marriage was not the fairy tale she dreamed of. John's controlling tendencies began to surface. He started to dictate who she could see and what she could wear, and even attempted to manage her every move. Amina felt trapped, lost in the very world that had once seemed so dazzling. To make matters worse, Amina too struggled to conceive. The irony was not lost on her. The gossip from both the city and the village only grew louder, with people now questioning if John's fortune was cursed. One evening, as Amina went through old family documents in the study, she found a letter tucked between contracts. It was from Amara, dated the night before she left. In it, Amara revealed that John had pressured her to undergo invasive treatments to bear children, treatments that had damaged her health irreversibly. Amara expressed her heartbreak and anger at John's betrayal and warned that his obsession with legacy and wealth would haunt him. Amina, horrified, realized the depths of John's ambition and his disregard for those he claimed to love. She felt a new resolve brewing within her. Amina began to distance herself from John, finding solace in her old friends and family, people who truly cared for her. Meanwhile, she channeled her energy into charity work, particularly supporting young girls in her village who wanted to pursue an education. She found purpose outside of John's influence, but she knew her marriage was a trap she couldn't easily escape. The story took a darker turn when Amara returned, unannounced, during a grand party at John's mansion. She was a shadow of her former self but held her head high. She confronted John in front of everyone, revealing the pain he had inflicted upon her. Amina watched in silent horror as John stood speechless, his reputation in tatters. Months later, John's fortune took a sudden, unexpected hit. Business deals fell through, properties were seized, and he faced multiple lawsuits. Amina, now disillusioned with John's empire, filed for divorce, walking away from the life of wealth and secrecy. She returned to living alone, now a woman wiser and wearier, but free. In the end, Amina chose her dignity over luxury, and though people continued to gossip about the girl who went from flower girl to billionaire's bride, Amina knew her story was not defined by wealth or scandal, but by survival and self-respect. Amina's life became an unconventional tale splashed across tabloids and the internet. It became a cautionary story about ambition, wealth, and the dangers of becoming entangled in someone else's dream. She was both the flower girl and the bride, but found her true strength only when she reclaimed her independence, leaving the past behind. The end. So what are your thoughts on this tale? Do you think Amina betrayed Amara's trust? Tell us what you think in the comments section. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.